Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Cloud, and welcome to my personal VOD reviews of Locals. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at Game 1 for Week 1 of the OP10 Meta, where I play Green Yellow Yamato versus Red Shanks. Here's the deck list that I played in this match, and if you haven't already done so, please go check out the Locals retro video I made that covers this deck list and my overall thoughts on how Locals went this week. Without further ado, let's hop into the game. Okay, we've got game number 1. I'm playing Green Yellow Yamato versus Red Shanks. And the first thing I noticed is it looks like my playmat got cut off at the bottom there. Sorry about that. This was my first time ever recording my Locals matches, so I definitely messed up the camera angle a little bit. I'm trying to fix it in the other ones, so you'll see that in the other VOD reviews. And speaking of VOD reviews, this is my first time ever doing a VOD review, so I'll try to put up the important cards on screen so that you can just get a better look at the cards. I remember this also being one of my faster games. Yeah, we're already 40 seconds in and this match is only 5 minutes. My opponent was playing incredibly fast, so. Go into the dice roll here. We always do high roll, so he rolls a 4. And then once I'm done shuffling, I'm gonna roll a 3. Yikes. Looks like I lost the dice roll and he gets to pick. He's gonna pick first. We're gonna fist bump and get into the game. Draw 5 cards for my starting hand. And let's take a look at what we got. Pause it right there. We've got 7 cost Hody Jones, 2 cost Onami. I know this event. It's got a super long name. Let me pull up the card on my side here. Demonic Aura, 9 Sword Style, Azura Demon 9 Flash. And I usually just call it 9 Flash to keep it easy. Next to that card is the new 8 cost Kid from OP10. And we've got 5 cost Momonosuke. So before I press play again, this is not a great hand if we think about it. Why? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 non-counter cards in hand. And that's usually not a great sign because it just means I'm going to have a harder time kind of countering my opponent's attacks, especially when he's going first and he gets the first attack against my leader or against any of the characters I play. So normally I would probably, mulligan here. Take that free mulligan, try to look for better cards. So let's see what I do next. And surprise, surprise, I actually decided to keep it, despite everything I just said. And let me explain why, because I definitely remember why I wanted to keep it. So I'm going to pause it right there where we get somewhat of a decent view. So for anyone who's ever played Yamato, there's some really good cards for Yamato in particular in this hand. First is Hody Jones. So make sure to put that on screen for you. Hody Jones, 7 costs, 8k body. His effect reads Rush, and then on play, rest up to a total of 2 of your opponent's characters or Dawn cards, then add 1 card from the top of your life to your hand. So he's essentially my boss card. He lets me rest normally 2 of the blockers and try to go for game. So seeing this in my opening hand is just really comforting. It just means I don't have to worry about searching for Hody Jones. It's not searchable in this deck, and Yamato traditionally just doesn't have good card draw, so having to not rely on top decking it is really nice. The next card that is really good is the event, 9 Flash. This one right here. So throw that one up on screen. And this card reads, effect main, up to 1 of your leader or character cards gains plus 3000 power during this turn. Then you may rest 1 of your characters with a cost of 3 or more. If you do, rest up to 1 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. So this card just helps boost the power of my leader or my characters. And with Yamato, who has double attack, it just means I can probably guarantee a hit. And then if I'm using it in the future, later turns, I'll be able to rest a 5 cost, which is normally a blocker, right? So people who are afraid of the double attack, it provides a lot of pressure. They'll put down a blocker, and most blockers usually are 4 costs and less. And so having this card just means I can get around blockers. It's kind of the same thing as Hody Jones. Buff my leader, try to get the finish there. Besides that, we also got Nami. 2 cost Nami. This card, let's pull it up on screen and read the ability here. Effect on play, up to one of your leader or character cards gains banished during this turn. And of course, I just mentioned it, Yamato has double attack. So if I combine Nami and my leader, I can do a double attack banish, meaning that 2 of their life instantly just goes straight into the trash. And that's really nice. So if I'm on, let's say, my 5 Dawn turn, here's a little quick combo, you know, it's not really something you normally do, but I could play 9 Flash for 3 Dawn, or actually for 2 Dawn. Or sorry, I said 5 Dawn. I'm on the even curve, so I only have 4 Dawn. So turn 2, when I have 4 Dawn, I can do 2 Dawns for 9 Flash, give my leader plus 3,000, and then 2 Dawn for Nami, and be able to give my leader banish, and now I have a 3k double attack banish coming at their life. So that's something you can do, just guarantees a 2. Not guarantees, but it puts on a lot of pressure on my opponent. Yeah. And then lastly, I did draw the new 8 cost kid, and I just wanted to try him out. So seeing it in my hand just meant that I know that I'll have it for the late game. And that's pretty much why I kept my hand. But if I was, you know, not like in this testing mode trying to see how the kid does, I would probably mulligan this to try to get some other cards, earlier cards, and more counter. But let's continue. So turn 1, he plays Uta for 1 Dawn, takes the Yasop. So Uta lets you look at the top 5, and then pick a... it's going a little quick here. Uta lets you search top 5 for a red hair pirates, and he just takes the Yasop. Passes back to me, I draw 1 card. I drew Cracker. It's a 1k counter, which is nice. And then with 2 Dawn, I can't do anything. I can't attack on my first turn, so I just pass it back. He goes up to 3 Dawn. And this is really surprising. He goes 5k with Uta at my leader, and I'm thinking, oh no, that's really bad, because I know he has the Shanks, which you can see there. He's gonna attack my leader with that next. And knowing that I have no counter in hand, it's biting me in the butt now. So I had to pitch the Cracker to counter out of the Uta hit and just take the Shanks hit, because I want to keep the Nami banish in hand. Thinking about it, do I counter with Nami? I don't. So I take it, it's a Neko Mamushi. That would have been a nice trigger if my opponent was at 3 life or less, but they weren't, so. Going back to me, draw for turn, 2 Dawn. I drew Mihawk here. Okay, that's a 2k counter. And this is where things got interesting for me. So, I told you turn 1, my plan could have been this. It could have been 2 Dawn to play out the Nami, and that will give my leader banish. And then from here, I could either just do 2 Dawn on my leader and go 7k banish double attack. Or if I wanted to, I can play the event and go 8k banish double attack. 8k would just hopefully force him to pitch more cards from hand to counter out, or he just takes the hit. But the Mihawk kind of changes things, and this is a problem when you're playing too fast. So word of advice to any new players or even experienced players, just take your time, okay? Think through your moves. I unfortunately did not do that this match. And so I saw the Mihawk, I saw that he didn't play anything on 3 Dawn, and so my brain was like, I can use Mihawk to establish another body. And so if you don't know what Mihawk is, let me throw that on screen and find the card here on the side. Mihawk. There we go. Oh, where is it? There it is. So Draco Mihawk says, on play, if I have 2 or less characters, play up to 1 Muggy Kingdom or / attribute character card with a cost of 4 or less, other than Draco Mihawk from my hand rested. And so you saw that my first life was the Nekomamushi right there. And so I'm thinking I can establish Mihawk and Nekomamushi. It means my attack will be smaller, but I'm thinking to myself, if I establish some bodies, I can maybe go for more swings the following turn, which I think was a mistake, but let's see how this plays out. Yep, so I go 1 Dawn, just a 6k double attack banish to leader. He's going to use leader ability to give -1000, and then pitches the Lucky Roo for another counter. And then I tap 3 Dawn to play out the Mihawk into Nekomamushi. And then this is why I think it was a mistake. I did not consider how many cards I had, or how many counters I had in my hand. So here he plays Yasop, which gives the Shanks +1000. And now he goes 6k into the Nekomamushi. And taking a look at my hand here, I only have 5 cards. It's my starting 5. And like I mentioned, I only have 1k counter. So I can't even counter out of a 6k swing here. So it just unfortunately means that I just lose the Nekomamushi. Passes back to me. I at least still have the Mihawk, but losing the 5k body just hurts. I go up to 6 Dawn. I can't... So, you know, my options are kind of limited here. So, like I mentioned earlier, Yamato usually wants to try to get my opponent down to 3 life as early as possible so that I can get the second part of the leader ability online. But also because I am playing a kind of trigger swarm core for my deck, meaning that a lot of my triggers activate when my opponent's at 3 or less life, and it lets me play out the body. And so here I am just gonna try to get the life down. So I will play Nami for 2 Dawn, give my leader banish, and I just go ham. 9k double attack banish to my leader, or my opponent's leader. And so he chooses not to use leader ability, and he just trashes the 2 life. And then this was a mistake. So you saw me pass the turn back to him. Unfortunately, he goes down to 3 life, which means my leader ability is online. And so I could have given 2 of my Rested Dawn, you know, my Rested Dawn right here, that I played for the Nami, could have given it to the Mihawk and go 6k and force another, either a 2k out of his hand or take a life. And because I forgot about that, I just missed out on a free attack. Unfortunate. He's now up to 7 Dawn. He goes 5k at my leader, or at my life. I have no counter in hand, so I just take it. Oh, I actually have a 2k that I drew. And there we go. So let me go back. So Nekomamushi is one of those cards I talked about, where went back a little too far here. Trigger on play, or sorry, trigger if my opponent has 3 or less life cards, play this card. And so I immediately just go ahead and play it because I'm looking to just establish bodies so that I can do more swings at my opponent. So I think I give up the Mihawk. Oh, that's right. And then he goes 6k with Yasop at my leader, so then I counter out for 2k. That was what the Mihawk was there for. And then he just goes Ben Beckman. And Ben Beckman, if you don't know what that card does, let's throw it up on the screen. Ben Beckman, let me also pull it up on the side here. Reads, on play, trash up to 1 of my opponent's characters with 6,000 power or less. Nekomamushi only has 5k power, so once again, I kind of lost out, and he was able to just deal with my trigger efficiently. Pass back to me. Draw for turn. It's the X-Drake from OP10. That's a 2k counter. I'm at 8 Dawn. And so I have a couple of options. Well, I say a couple of options, but with 8 Dawn, I can try to get more swings in. You know, maybe attach Dawns to my 2 bodies here. Get some low power attacks at my opponent's life. I can potentially play Hody Jones, which would be kind of bad because it'll take my 1 life, or take a life from my life. I could play a blocker. I could just attach Dawn to my leader. Yeah, I'm in a pretty tough spot. So it looks like I just go for a 5k swing. He just uses leader ability. And then I tap all 8 Dawn and I play Useless Captain Kid. So the reason I played this card is, throw the card up on screen. I'm going to keep saying that, by the way, just so I can remind myself in post to add the card. But Useless Captain Kid, this is one of the cards I was most interested in from OP10. On play, you may rest this character, trash up to 1 card from the top of my opponent's life. And then end of turn, if your opponent has 2 or less life, draw 1 card, trash 1 card from hand. So my opponent is currently at 3 life. And so by playing it and then resting it immediately, they go down to 2. And up until now, I didn't have like much counter in hand. So I'm trying to use the second part of the character ability to cycle my cards. Draw 1, then trash 1. And I just thought that this was a better play because if I drop the Hody Jones, even though I get to rest 2 of my opponent's characters, I have to take a life. And then he's got 1, 2, 3, maybe 4 if he attaches Dawn there, maybe 5 if he plays a rush character from hand. Swings at no counter in hand and 1 life. So I didn't think that was smart. I should try to just keep my life high and try to find some counter here. Yep, so trash that. And then end of turn. Draw 1. It's a 1k counter, Tonoyasu. And out of all the cards in hand, yeah, I trash the Momonosuke and pass back. My opponent is now at 9 Dawn. And he goes 7k at my leader. I've got a 2k and a 1k in hand, so 3k counter total. I got 2 life, no blockers. So I choose to pitch the 2k and the 1k. I take the 7k swing. It's an Onami trigger. And if you don't know what the Onami trigger is, it's just activate main. So let's go look at Onami. Sorry, not Onami. Nami's main ability. Throw the card up on screen. Effect, on play, you may trash 1 card with a trigger from my hand, KO up to 1 of my opponent's characters with a cost of 5 or less. Then if I have 3 or less cards in hand, draw 1 card. And I'm sitting here thinking about it, as you can see, because I'm thinking about the card draw. I know I have no counter in hand. I can trash the 9 Flash, which does have a trigger, in order to KO a 5 cost body. I mean, I can maybe just KO the Uta since I don't want a potential attacker there. And then draw 1 card, which would be really nice. But I think here, what do I do? I think I'm pretty sure I did not do it. Yeah, I'm looking at my hand, I'm shaking there. Yeah, I keep it. So I end up keeping it because I didn't think he was going to attach Dawn to the Uta. And there's no point of KOing his Yasop because he's already attacked. And so I'm saying, alright, let's just keep it in hand, keep the counter. Hopefully survive. My opponent drops 8 cost Dragon, which gains rush, or it has rush, and then allows him to attach 2 rested Dawn to leader or character. And so he attaches it to his leader and goes 7k at me. And so, excuse me, I'm thinking, oh no. That's a 7k swing. I only have 1k counter in hand. I have to just take it. It's a 2k, but Dragon, I believe, is a 9k body. Let's look it up. Yeah, Dragon's a 9k body. And so I unfortunately have to take the loss here. I only had 3k counter in hand. And so yeah, he's asking me, you know, like, what was the trigger? I was saying it's the Nami. I could have trashed the 9 flash and then draw 1 card. I probably should have done that. But I was hoping to survive this turn and be able to use it next turn. And I completely forgot that Shanks has these top-end rush cards. How did I forget? Crazy. Okay, and yeah, that's game number 1. The last thing I want to mention is kind of that, you know, thinking about it, this final turn here, where I go, or how I'm countering. So his first swing, let's go back to his first swing. Right here. So at this point, come on, there we go. I have a 2k counter and a 1k counter. And he swings 7k at me. So here's where things get a little interesting. It's because I chose to counter out of this. So here's my, you know, line of thinking. Counter out of this, so 3k counter. And I still have 2 life, 2 cards in hand. And I was seeing only 1, 2, 3 attackers on board. So it's like if I'm able to counter out of this low power swing, I'll potentially be able to, you know, survive the rest of the attacks. That's why I countered out here. But, you know, in hindsight, maybe it would have been better to not do that. Maybe I could have just taken this hit and go up to 5 cards in hand, which would have made his following swings a little, you know, he'd have to think more. Does he attach Dawn? Does he play the rush character? You know, what does he do? So that was the last thing I just wanted to mention, was maybe countering out right there wasn't the play. But, oh well. Anyways, that's going to do it for game number 1. And thanks for watching. Until next time, remember, keep your minds fresh and your spirits free. See ya.